For many Americans, reciting the words of the Pledge of Allegiance, well, it's like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket. Familiar, yet sometimes polarizing, these words describe a country that's fast disappearing in the mist of the past. But is that the only pledge the American people should be making? We'll ponder that next on the Constitution Study.
There's one thing you have to know wherever you make your stand. Came from a long through line of everyday Americans.
Hello there, everyday Americans. Paul Engel here with the Constitution Study, where we read and study the Constitution, where we teach the rising generation to be free. I'm glad you could join me. As always, I'm going to point you to that website, constitutionstudy.com. That's where you can find everything I'm working on. You can find the articles, the videos, you can find the audio podcast. You can ask questions, make comments, you can engage and find out what we're doing and how you can be involved. All that's available right there on the website. I hope you'll head over and I hope you'll check us out. You know, I've seen a lot of memes popping up lately about the Pledge of Allegiance. And it usually has some patriotic picture. Sometimes it has a bald eagle and a flag or firefighters or police officers. And it has the words of the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, if you follow the Constitution Study for any length of time, you know I really love the words of John Jay. Every member of the state ought diligently to read and study the Constitution of his country and teach the rising generation to be free. By knowing their rights, they will sooner perceive when they are violated and be the better prepared to defend and assert them. And that's been a founding principle behind the Constitution Study, that we should all diligently read and study, that we would recognize when our rights are violated. But it got me thinking, if we're willing to pledge allegiance to a flag, is there something else we should be doing as well? And I thought about it for a while, and I came up with the idea of what I call the pledge to read the Constitution. And I took the same structure of the Pledge of Allegiance. I tried to come up with similar words, similar cadence, but it's something I think that we should all start making a habit of. And it's something that not only is it something that we should do, but it's something we should encourage others to do as well. Now I've started taking the words to this new pledge I've created and adding it as comments to people who post the memes about the Pledge of Allegiance. And I've gotten some pretty good feedback. So I'm writing it up nice and pretty, and I'm going to post it on social media, but I also want to talk about it here because I think this is a group that would understand why this is important. So what is this pledge? Quote, I pledge to study the Constitution of the United States of America and to defend the republic which it created, a nation of laws, not of men, securing the blessings of liberty and justice for all. See, it's still laid out very similar to the Pledge of Allegiance. And think of what it's saying. It says, I pledge to study the Constitution of the United States of America. Is that a pledge that you will take? It's a pledge I've taken, that I will take the time and not only read, but study the Constitution of the United States of America. But look what it's saying, why we do that. To defend the republic which it created. You don't know how badly I cringe when I hear somebody in public, an elected official, someone who should know better, refer to the American democracy. We are a republic. It's about time we started defending the republic. To challenge the idea that we are a democracy. We're not. To defend the idea that the power resides in the people, we elect representatives to act as our agents, but all power remains with the American people. That's an idea worth defending, because that is what protects your rights. The next line is, a nation of laws, not of men. Which again is an important part of the structure our founding fathers created. It is not the whim of a man or a woman who decides what is and isn't right in America. We have laws, the supreme law of which is the Constitution of the United States of America. What Congress does, it's a violation of the Constitution, is not the law. What the Speaker of the House or the President or the Leader of the Senate does in contradiction to the Constitution is not law. What governors and state legislatures do, that is a violation, is repugnant to the Constitution, is not law. So when the American people ignore and disobey illegal legislative acts and illegal executive orders, they're not breaking the law, they're not committing civil disobedience, they're upholding the law. They're saying, no, the laws of the United States are more important than what people are doing, and if the Constitution says this is the way it is, your law can't change that. And the last line, securing the blessings of liberty and justice for all. That's just what it means. You see, the preamble to the Constitution, which describes what its purpose is, said we wanted to have justice, that we wanted to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. So that's why we should read and study the Constitution, so we can keep those blessings secure, so we can help establish justice for all. So let me put out this challenge to you. Will you take the pledge? No one's going to go around and double check on you, but will you honestly pledge that you will read and study the Constitution of the United States of America? That you'll learn what we aren't being taught in school, that you'll learn what's being ignored in law schools, and you'll understand the Constitution as it was written. That you'll use it to defend the republic that it created. That you will defend laws and place the laws of our nation above men and women and what they say and what they want. Will you pledge to secure the blessings of liberty to yourself and to your posterity, and to establish justice for all? Because if we won't bother doing what the pledge calls you to do, well, then the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag is hollow. Because the republic that the flag stands for is crumbling. It's disappearing. And if we don't do something to change it, it too will fade into the mist of time. The answer is not in Washington, it's not in our state houses. It's in our living rooms, it's on our front porches, it's around our kitchen tables. Get together, pledge to take some time to read and study the Constitution. And if you've found that worthwhile, hopefully you'll come back and I'll see you the next time on the Constitution Study.
There's one thing you have to know wherever you make your stand. Came from a long through line of everyday